Hello everyone, this is Lucy05 and welcome to the Kobo Central Toy Review. And today's toy review, we're looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the Marvel Universe comic packs, celebrating the 25th anniversary Secret Wars comics. And this package is issue number 12 from the Wave 4 series that includes the Bulldozer and The Thing action figures. And at the back of the packaging you will notice there's the issue number 12 of the Secret Wars comics. Now, originally this packaging was released in the US on March 2010. However, I managed to get this at my local toy shop. That cost about 55 ringgit there, on June instead. Toy Us don't actually pack a lot of this packaging. I noticed they did pack in with the Mohawk Storm and Nightcrawler, but I never seen this, nor Dr. Doom and Absorbing Man. So it was quite disappointing that I have to wait 3 months to actually get this. Now, front part of the packaging, you got the two figures next to the two artworks of those two characters, and here we have the comics itself. And the back, you got the rest of the wave. You got the same figures as shown in the front. You got Nightcrawler with the Storm Mohawk hairstyle, Dr. Doom and Absorbing Man, plus the small tiny Wasp figure. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so I can molest these toys. Be right back. And we're back on the figures and the comic out from packaging. Now, for this packaging itself, it doesn't come with any base stand at all, despite that it was released in 2010, because this was originally packaged in 2009. And it doesn't come with any accessories at all, because, well, they don't need any. Now, let's take a look at Bulldozer here. Bulldozer here is actually a not bad figure. I really like the paint job. There's no sloppy paint job found anywhere, but it's not properly highlighted. Like the eye hole here, one side of the eye hole is more darker in paint job, the other side of the eye hole here is not really well done. You can still see more slighter gray paint job on this eye hole compared to the other one that is more darker. Now the flesh tone here, the paint job of the flesh itself is also quite nicely done, and the individual tooth where he's grinning is also painted. It's not bad. Now the sculpt of the figure, now it's quite interesting. The arm bands and the shin bands here are actually a separate piece, as you can see. So there's this one as well. I can try to pull it up. It's a bit tight. So these pieces, these armbands and leg bands here are actually a separate piece, but the waistband itself and the chest band is a part of the figure. Now, other than that, the muscle tone for the sculpt itself is actually not bad, and the face sculpt is also, well, it looks rather small. I'm not too sure if we compare it to the comic itself, or at least at the packaging itself. The head is a bit too, well, short. If it's a bit taller, it will look much more better. It looks like it has a squished head. So, well, it's just my opinion, maybe it's just my imagination. Now let's take a look at the articulation. The head, however, is quite interesting. Head can turn 360 degrees, look upward, downward all the way down, and tilt a little bit on sideways. It's quite nice. Now the torso actually turns 360 degrees and go forward and backward like so. Arms can turn 360 degrees and raise the arms this far. Upper bicep can turn 360 degrees. Elbow joint bend this far and straight out. Wrist can turn 360 degrees. The other wrist here shows the hand is enclosed, and this one is open a little bit. Now the hip joint move all the way up like so, or to the sideways like so. Double jointed knee and ankle here can turn 360 degrees, pivot downwards and upwards. However, this ankle is a bit warped, as you notice. It's a bit warped. Still a not bad figure. I'm near on completing the Wrecking Crew gang, just needing the Wrecker figure itself. As you can see, he has a problem to try to stand on his own there. Now let's take a look at the Thing here. The Thing, however, the paint job is a bit weird. Some parts is flat, some parts are very glossy. Like the shoulder here, the tie here, it's very shiny for some reason. So there's this side here, is very glossy. It's not as flat as I would like it to be, but I really like the details there, especially the cracked lines showing all over the body itself. At least it's well painted. Now the sculpt of the figure is also quite very nicely done. I really love the details they put on the Thing itself. The face itself is also quite nicely done, and the paint job on the eyes, he has blue eyes there underneath the huge eyebrows. It's very nicely done. Of course, this Thing has to wear the blue underpants. Now let's take a look at the articulation. Ben Grimm here, his articulation is a bit weird. The head doesn't pivot up and down, it only turns 360 degrees. Look at this. So he doesn't look left and right, he doesn't pivot up and down, so it's really disappointing on the neck joint. Torso here can turn 360 degrees and go back a little bit, forward a little bit, so and side to side. It's not bad. Shoulders here can turn 360 degrees and go all the way up like so. No upper bicep swivel. The elbow here bend this far, straight out, and sort of turn 360 degrees. Wrist here can turn 360 degrees. Now the hip joint is something I really don't like, because the pegs are angled at this position rather than this position. So when you want to have this figure to bend a leg, you have to twist the entire thigh itself and then bend the leg. So it's really not that great. Legs can also go to the side like so, and there's no double jointed knee, so it only bends the knee this far. The ankle joint can go downwards and just a little bit upwards and turn 360 degrees. So overall, this figure is actually not bad. Just the joints is a bit iffy, not something I really like, and the paint job is, some parts of the paint job is not really well painted, especially on the thigh here, the hip joints here, the shoulders here. It's not really well painted, but majority of the paint job is very well done. Bulldozer, however, is actually quite simplistic, but also very nicely done. But I really am disappointed on the deformed ankle, on the left ankle there. Let's do a size comparison. First we have the black costume Spider-Man standing next to Bulldozer there. As you can see, Bulldozer actually towers him a little bit. For the Thing, we'll do a side comparison using the Hulkbuster. As you can see here, Hulkbuster is about the same height there. Yes, at first I thought the Hulkbuster is a bit taller, but it's a bit taller. So if I'm gonna give a rating of these two figures, I would say, first off, Bulldozer there looks just like in the comics, in the Secret Wars comics. So he is actually not bad. He is actually not bad. I'm just disappointed with the ankle part. So if I'm going to give a rating about this figure, I would say I'll give him a 6 out of 10. It's still good. The Thing, however, is actually not bad. It's just some of the paint job is not really that great, and some of the articulation is kind of weird, but it's still good. So the Thing will give a 7 out of 10. So I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05, and I'm signing off.